Good morning on this beautiful winter's morning here in Queensland, Australia. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different again. I'm embarking on a little outback drive. So I'll be driving out to central Queensland and having a look around Longreach, Roma, Blackall, Barcaldine and all those places. So if you feel like a trip into the central Queensland, you're in the right place. Come along, let's go. First of all, please disregard the date and time stamp on the video. This is my dash cam, which has never kept very good time, and it's always way out. I think I'll have to go through the menus and try and delete it. But anyway, disregard time and date, please. I love driving in the Queensland outback, especially around that golden hour, early morning, late afternoon. It's just so picturesque, beautiful. I really love it. But while you're driving around Queensland, you've got to be watchful of things that might happen on the road. Like you could stumble across a cattle drive. The other problem you might find driving in the Queensland outback is you never know when something's going to jump out in front of you. So just watch on the left in 3, 2, 1, look out!
Fucking hell. Oh, kangaroo. That was close. Still even sunset.
Well, good afternoon. I've arrived nice and safely at Roma. About a 6.5 hour drive from our place in the south side of Brisbane. I'm staying at the Aussie Tourist Park. It looks like it's set up for workers. It's fairly basic, but it looks pretty nice. I'll show you my room. I'm in room 20 and it's got everything you need, really. Let's zoom out a little bit. There's a bed which I've already managed to muck up a bit. Toast, kettle, knives and forks and plates. A wardrobe that seems to be broken that I can't open. And of course all the essentials. Hi. Shower, bath, not bath, sorry, what am I talking about? Shower and toilet and a sink. So we're only here for one night and we'll be off tomorrow towards Longreach. So bye for now. Well, here we are in Roma. I've been to Roma many times before when I was working in the central Queensland gas fields. So There's not a lot for me to do in here. I'm just going to go into the local IGA and get some supplies. But Roma is a nice little town in the Marinara region of central Queensland. The town was incorporated in 1867 and it was named after Lady Diamantina Bowen, nee de Roma. She was the wife of George Bowen, the governor of Queensland at the time. It's the centre of a rich pastoral and wheat growing district. Roma's known for its bottle trees. One has a girth of 9.5 metres, which is one of Roma's tourist attractions. A few of the notable people who have come from Roma include Arthur Beetson and Darren Lockyer, both rugby league legends, both captains of Australia, as well as both in the Australian Sporting Hall of Fame. In 2021, the census, Roma had a population of 6,838 people. Like I said, it's a lovely little town. I quite like Roma, but there's not a lot here that I need to see. It's really just a stopping off point on my way up to Longreach and further north. So we're just going to head into the IGA here and pick up some supplies for the night in the motel. Had a 6.5 hour drive, so I'm a bit tired. I don't really want to go out tonight, so I'm going to grab something and put in the microwave at the motel. So we'll head into the IGA and see what we can find. So see you tomorrow as we head north towards Longreach. Bye. Okay, I've just arrived at Blackall. Blackall's a town in central Queensland. It's about 960 kilometres by road from Brisbane, the state capital of Queensland. It was explored in 1846 by Sir Thomas Mitchell and his party. Did a lot of exploration around this area, and was named after Sir Samuel Blackall, the second governor of Queensland. Blackall claims to be the location of the original Black Stump. The Black Stump was a marker that marked the original Astro station in 1887. Places west of this point are said to be beyond the Black Stump. Now, the Black Stump was moved from its original location into the town of Blackall to make it more accessible for tourists. In 1890, the Australian Labor Federation met in Blackall around at the time of the Great Shearer Strike of 1891 and formed the Australian Labor Party. Blackall had a population of 1,365 at the last census in 2021. So now I'll just turn the camera around and show you the Black Stump. Oops. It's a bit hard to see at the moment because the sun is so bright. That's the original Black Stump. Everything beyond this, everything west of this is considered beyond the Black Stump. Zoom out a little bit if I can. Oops, that was in, not out. Give you a little bit of an idea of the Black Stump and beyond the Black Stump. The story is up there on the board if you actually it might be easier to look at that on Wikipedia. Yeah, everything beyond the Black Stump was considered way out in the outback. Okay, so we'll move into town now and see if we can find the Jackie Howe Memorial. Jackie Howe was a champion sheep shearer from the 1800s. talk more about him if we can find the statue. But anyway, let's head back into town and see if we can find the statue. Okay, I found the Jackie Howe statue. It's on the main street of Blackall. A little bit about Jackie Howe. He was a champion shearer of the 1890s. He once saw a total of 321 sheep in a single day. Well, in 7 hours 40 minutes to be precise. A record for hand shearing that still stands. And the only shearer to break that record was using a machine-driven handpiece in 1950. I'll just turn the camera around and show you the statue. Probably not very good in the shade there, but greetings again. Today, this afternoon, I'm at Invercombe. Invercombe is on the Landsborough Highway, about 27 kilometres east of Longreach. Invercombe calls itself the hub of the West. The main industry here is sheep rearing, mainly for wool. Sheep stations were established in this area from 1864. In 1892, the town was renamed from Wellshot to Invercombe after a coastal town in Invercombe in North Devon, England. It was originally named after the Wellshot station in this area. Population at 2021 was 310. The town was much larger in the past. It once had 3 hotels instead of the single one that we have today. But what I really want to talk to you about at the moment is they have this thing called the Machinery Mile. Now on the side of the highway here we have some old machinery. Now it's all been donated I think by local people, but it's really, really fascinating. I'll turn the camera around and show you. Now, it goes for about a mile, I believe. I'm not going to take you all that way, because while it's very interesting to look at, I think it might get a little bit boring on a video. Not much to say, really. Some of these old machines are a marvel of engineering, really. Maybe not that one. Like I said, I'm only going to walk part of the way. Not that I'm worried about the walking, because I've already done my 10,000 steps today. But I think it'll get quite boring after too long. These trucks up ahead here are what I'm mainly interested in. And after all, I am a city boy, and the farm machinery, as interesting as to look at, I have no idea what it is, what they were used for. But like I said, we're just on the Landsborough Highway here. That's the road heading into Longreach, and that way is heading to Barcolden. I'll tell you one thing, it's the middle of winter and the flies are really annoying. Give that old Australian bush salute, brushing flies away from your face. I love old trucks, old cars. This one in particular, there's just something very familiar looking about it. I'm sure my dad drove something similar at one stage in the early 60s, late 50s. Here it is here, the Lynn Cameron Machinery Mile. That's about as fast as I'm going to walk now. They're all farm machineries up there that all look very similar. So I'm going to turn around and head back and show you some of the buildings at the other end of this machinery mile. But I won't make you go through this old mile again, so we'll pause for a moment. Okay, here we are in the machinery shed. Machinery shed. Some old wagons would have been great carriers on some of the farming properties out here, or sheep properties, I suppose they were. Look at this jalopy. Ooh. No idea what it is. It's a Dodge 4. 1932 model. Made in Canada. Now, that's a utility vehicle. All the farmhands, I think, would have sat back there and they've been driven out to the paddocks. Okay, across the road is the Well-Shot Hotel. It's a bit packed at the moment, and all big four-wheel drives out the front of it, so I'll insert a photo here I took this morning where there was nothing in front. The Well-Shot Hotel began its life as the Withersfield Hotel. Its exact origins were unknown, but sometime in the 1880s it was moved to Barcaldine, likely following the rail line as it extended westward. In June 1890, Patrick Finn transported the pub by bullock dray to Invercombe, where it was reassembled. The move coincided with the railway's advance towards Longreach. The hotel was named after the Well-Shot station, which at the time held the largest number of sheep in the world. And it's got some interesting bar stools in there, which I probably won't be able to show you just yet, because there's so many people in there. So I'll hopefully find a quieter time and show you the inside. But it's quite a nice little hotel. The rooms are very basic, but you expect that from a pub room. Shared facilities, no TV, no fridge, but that's fine. Let me see if I can have a quick look in here. Not too crowded at the moment, but they're the bar stools I was telling you about. Let's see if I can get a photo of me sitting on one of them a little bit later. Quite a nice little pub, hotel. Try and show you the ceiling. It's covered in hats. I'll just quickly show you my room. Like I said, very basic. Pardon the mess, but I have been here for 2 days. That's my excuse. Zoom out a little bit. 2 single beds. A bed lamp. A mirror. And a little desk, if you can call it that, with no PowerPoint, so a bit awkward. That's the room. Here's the outside beer garden area. I've really got to stop coming out without the gimbal, haven't I? Oh, hello. Something's just caught my eye. Wood-fired pizza. My favourite. What time are you open till?
Sorry?
How long are you open for?
8 p.m. we close.
8 p.m. you close. I'm staying here, so I'm sure you'll see me again. I have a wood oven at home, similar to that but smaller.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back here a little bit later on. Thank you. That was a discovery. I never expected to see that. I was just thinking whether I'd have a burger again or a lasagna, but that made my decision for me. Good morning. Welcome to Barcaldine. We're here today to visit the Tree of Knowledge. I'll actually just turn the camera around and show you the tree. It's a nice chilly morning here. It's about 8 o'clock Thursday morning. Barcaldine is a town in central West Queensland, approximately 520 kilometres by road west of Rockhampton. Major industries are sheep and beef cattle. The Barcaldine Post Office was opened in November 1886. Now, Barcaldine played a significant role in the Australian labour movement and the birth of the Australian Labor Party. In 1891, it was one of the focal points of the Great Shearer Strike, with the Eureka flag flying over the camp. The landmark Tree of Knowledge, which is I'll try and get it with a better shot here. Sun's in an awkward position. Actually, if I come this side here, you might get a better look of the sun on it. Should have thought that one through, Michael. The landmark tree of knowledge under which the strikers met stood outside the railway station, which would be that building there. And yeah, this is where the strikers met to plan their moves. Unfortunately, in 2006, persons unknown poisoned the tree with a herbicide Roundup, which led to its demise. No doubt someone who was not fond of the Australian Labor Party. But I don't really care what your politics are. That's still environmental vandalism, if you ask me. This tree was very important to a lot of people. A significant piece of Australian history. Okay, we're going to move on now. There's a workers' museum over here, but I don't think I'll go in because I'm an old Australian worker and they might lock me up and use me as an exhibit. Maybe not, maybe I'm not that important. Quickly go out to the railway station and have a look while we're here. Sorry, I'm focusing in towards the sun there, but a typical Outback railway station. Lovely. Okay, that's it from Barcaldine. Next stop is the town of Tambo, famous for the Tambo teddies. So, signing off. Oh no, wait a minute, we might have a quick look at this little statue up here. The Eureka flag, or the Southern Cross. A bit of a monument to the Great Shearer Strike. Now, the Shearer Strike was caused, as far as I'm aware, in 1891 or late 1880s. The pastoralists were making lots and lots of money out of wool. And the shearers were working long hours, back-breaking, using hand clippers. And the pastoralists decided they were going to cut the wages of the shearers, and they got together and formed a bit of a union and fought to get their money. I think in the end they lost, but it was the birth of the Australian Labor Movement and the Australian Labor Party, which originally used to stand up for workers' rights. It's become a little bit of a left-wing woke party these days, but still very important to Australian history. Okay, this time I am signing off from Barcaldine and we're heading to Tambo. See you there. Hi, welcome to Tambo. Tambo's a lovely little town in rural Queensland. Main industries here are cattle and tourism. It claims to be the oldest town in central Queensland. And something a lot of people don't know, Qantas Airlines have had fatal crashes in the past. Now, none since the jet age, but Tambo was the location of the first fatal accident. On the 24th of March 1927, with a loss of 3 lives as the plane stalled as it was landing. Tambo was also famous for Tambo teddies. The Tambo teddies workshop was set up by 3 local women in 1992 to help promote the wool industry after years of drought had caused wool prices to fall. In 2018, one of these teddies was given to Prince Harry, who gave it to his wife Meghan when they visited Australia. Also, I bought one of these teddies for my lovely wife a couple of years ago. Tambo has a population of about 283 people. Let's see if we can go inside. Okay, here we go. We're going to go inside now and have a look at Tambo teddies.
Got to walk a little bit.
These are all stocked at my niece's store in Wellington Point, Village Creative. If anyone from Brisbane or the Bayside area is looking to buy a Tambo teddy, Village Creative at Wellington Point is the place to go. Now, I love the story of Tambo teddies, and the lovely lady behind the counter there will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was created by 3 women during a drought when the price of wool had dropped dramatically as an attempt to shore up the wool industry. Yeah, I got the thumbs up. That's the story. And I must say I admire the women for thinking like that and setting this up. Okay, that'll do us from here. This will be the last major stop on my Outback adventure. Tonight we'll be in Roma, and then tomorrow afternoon I'll be arriving at home. So, cheers for now.